Sunday early window, Caleb Williams, Bears hosting the Tennessee Titans, and it is possible, believe it or not, despite what the interweb says, two things can be simultaneously true. Number one, I think Caleb Williams is going to be fun and exciting and productive, and I think he's the franchise quarterback the Bears haven't had forever. Number two, the hype is way over the top. He completed 50% of his throws in the preseason, and he had a 79 passer rating. Even in college, his accuracy was erratic. And I say that as somebody that thinks he's a very unique all-time talent. But 3 games for USC last year in the Pac-12, he completed under 58% of his throws. He went in the preseason, he was 10 for 20 and a passer rating under 80. Okay, this is going to be bumpy. The Titans for the last 6 months have heard how great Caleb Williams is. I mean, they're an anonymous franchise. If you ask 50 NFL fans who the coach of the Titans is, 6 would have an answer. If you didn't count Nashville, maybe it's 3. Like, nobody knows. All they've heard for 6 months is, oh, this guy's unbelievable. You're going to get blown out. You do get the margins. This is not college football. It's pro football. I mean, one of the upset bets of the week, frankly, if you ask the sharps or the wise guys, is Tennessee. And Tennessee has no pressure. No expectations. They've got a mayonnaise out of a jar eating quarterback who a lot of people think is a bust already. That guy's got something to prove. They got a new coach. They've got all new weapons, an offensive, clever, creative guy that's for years now been leading Joe Burrow. Like, we don't know what Tennessee's going to look like, but it could be really interesting. So this whole thing about Caleb Williams, I like him. I've predicted for the Bears. Let's just put it out there. 3rd place. I've predicted they'll win 7 or 8 games. I've predicted Caleb is the quarterback of the future, and I've also predicted, and I'll do it again today, it's going to be bumpy. They're not nearly as good roster-wise as Detroit or Green Bay. Green Bay's, I know you don't think Green Bay's organization top to bottom is here, and the Bears are 50,000, feet below the sea. It's not close. And that matters in this league. Number 1 quarterback picks, the number 1 pick at quarterback in week 1 all time is 4-15-1. 4-15-1. The last number 1 pick at quarterback to win week 1, David Carr, 22 years ago. So the last 3 years, there has been a big, major upset week 1 in the NFL. You ask all the wise guys, they think it's here. 9 straight winless number 1 pick quarterbacks in week 1.
Okay, let's talk about this, because I do not think Caleb Williams is being overhyped. Listen, it's always tough when we use some of these words, like overhyped to who, what type of hype. Are we talking about the people that are saying that Caleb Williams is going to win the MVP and win the Super Bowl? Sure, that's probably overhyped. But in terms of what he can do realistically, I try to live in the realistic world, so I'm not focused on any of these like next level predictions. I don't think he's being overhyped. And I think actually Lamar Jackson's game on Thursday against the Chiefs is a perfect example why. We're going to be able to see Caleb Williams do some of the most dynamic things that drive people insane in the positive way. When you watch and you're like, oh my God, he is just gassing these guys. Look what he can do. What we saw both with Mahomes and Lamar, right? Patrick Mahomes seemingly dead to rights, about to be sacked, somehow pops out and then throws a bullet to Travis Kelce, right? Turns a 15-yard loss into like a 30-yard gain. And Lamar Jackson able to just buy time, rip off a run, effortlessly throw the ball. Just things that you're just like, oh my God, like this is the next level of football, right? Like this is football of 2024. This is not your grandfather's game. And it's something that people love. It's exciting. It's like, what's more exciting than watching dynamic quarterbacks? We love it as fans. It's who you try to be before those quarterbacks ever even existed. It's how you played when you played backyard football, or even like on the concrete when you're like at a playground, right? Or when you're playing video games, what a lot of people grew up playing, NFL Blitz, Madden, like it was just you calling hike, running around in circles and doing those things. So we are conditioned to love it, to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. Caleb Williams has that. And we're going to see that out of Caleb immediately, because we know consistently that those types of quarterbacks are able to show that their rookie year, because that aspect of their game, for the most part, doesn't need to be developed, because so much of it is athleticism and instincts. It's the other aspects of the game that takes time to develop. I think the fact that we're going to be able to see Caleb do those things already means that he is not overhyped, because not every quarterback can do those things. Not every quarterback can do what Lamar or what Patrick Mahomes can do. So we're going to see that. Now, I think he's going to be a step up. I don't think he's going to miss players wide open like we saw Lamar do just on Thursday. And to me, that's why Caleb will not be overhyped, because we're going to already see him do things that Lamar Jackson himself struggles to do. And that's going to be exciting. It is absolutely going to be a bumpy ride. Caleb Williams is absolutely still going to miss people, as I just said he won't. But he's still going to miss people at times. He's still going to throw the ball at someone's feet, 10 feet over their head. Like, it's going to happen. Those things are going to happen. He's going to run around in circles and throw an awful interception, just like we saw Patrick Mahomes do. We saw Patrick Mahomes throw one interception, and it could have been easily two. Okay? And he's Patrick Mahomes. The difference is, so I don't want to say that Caleb Williams is going to be overhyped. I think he's going to be overjudged. When he throws an interception, it's going to be like him throwing 50 interceptions. When he scrambles around and then throws a bullet down the field for 20, 30 yards, it's going to be like emphasized, magnified. So I just think he's going to be overjudged both positively and negatively. But I think the hype is real, and I think the hype is worthy of it, quite frankly. I do. I don't think there's any reason to say that he's being overhyped outside of the people that say he's going to be the first rookie to win a Super Bowl. I think that, to me, has always been a bridge too far. But I do think Caleb Williams will be great and will play great. And it's going to be interesting to see the swings of the emotions of people when he plays well, when he throws an interception, when he holds on the ball too long and then gets stripped and fumble. Like, all those things are going to happen. But again, put it this way. Imagine if Patrick Mahomes was a rookie. Let's switch him out. Let's say it was Patrick Mahomes playing last night against Lamar Jackson. People would lose their mind and say, oh my God, look what he was able to do. But then also be like, I can't believe he threw that interception. I can't believe he held on the ball for that long. Oh, he got lucky that they threw the flag and it was, roughing the passer, because it, that easily couldn't have been like, and the other quarterback, Lamar Jackson, who had way more first downs, way more yards, blah, 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 blah. Like, he would be hyper criticized. But since it's Patrick Mahomes, we know the great, we know some of the bad, and we know that the great is next level. So you kind of can skip over that. You don't have to really worry about the interception, even though he did throw an interception, and he easily could have thrown two. That's a very real thing. And on the flip side, Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson played that way and was a rookie, people would be like, oh my God, I've never seen a quarterback do some of the things that Lamar did. Oh my God, he is unguardable. You cannot stop him. My God, the way how he can just run and run and run is insane. Oh my God. But then also, that was some really bad throws. Like, wow, did he miss some wide open receivers? And so we do this with all quarterbacks for the most part. But it's going to be next level for Caleb. It's going to be, I told you he's a bust. I told you he's the greatest quarterback to ever live. I told you he's a bust. I told you he's the greatest quarterback to ever live. It's just going to be those swings. Every time he does something great, it's, I told you this is the greatest quarterback to ever walk the face of the earth. And every time he does something bad, it's, I told you he's overrated. He's not going to be as good as people think he is. And it's going to be whiplash. And I'm honestly really fascinated to see how the media swings and how it all impacts. I know the fans are all very divided on Caleb. He's very divided. Him and Bo Nix seem to have the biggest divide. People either truly believe that both those quarterbacks are either going to be the greatest thing ever or just absolute trash. From a fan perspective, that's been my observation based on interacting with everyone in the comments. And I'm just really excited to see how it all unfolds for Caleb. I'm not personally that afraid. Excuse me, as I sneeze. Sneeze on the truth. I'm not personally too afraid of the Titans. I understand the Titans have something to prove. I get it. I believe Caleb Williams is going to be brutal to guard. I think it'll just be very difficult, at the very least, in the first handful of games for them to figure out how to stop Caleb. So, no, I'm not too concerned about this game, and I do not think Caleb Williams is overhyped. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Do you think Caleb Williams is overhyped, and do you think he will be able to live up to the hype? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.